So I've had my Action 5 Pro coming up to a year now. So in this video, I kind of want to give you my honest opinion on it. You know, should you buy it now that the Action 6 comes out, and will I be buying the Action 6? Don't know. Should we buy the Action 6? Is it worth it? What do you think? Yeah, I don't know either. Whew. It's cold here. It's now officially winter in England, and I don't want to put the heating on because heating is expensive. So there's going to be a lot of moving around in this video, so just bear with me. But right, let's talk about the Action 5 Pro. So let's go over some good things about it. But first, let me just reassure you lot that this camera has been purchased by me, and I'm not sponsored by anyone to, you know, tell you anything about this camera. Basically, this video is not sponsored. I'm not that big yet. So, Action 5 Pro. I have used this camera for pretty much everything this year. Like, I think probably about 90% of my YouTube channel is being filmed with this Action camera. I took it to my snowboarding trips. I took it on holiday with me. I've used this camera to create cinematic videos. I've used this camera for vlogging. I've used it to create videos for my business. I even used it to create an advert. So this is a fantastic little camera, but it does have its own little, should I say, setbacks? Yeah. Setbacks, I think that's the right word to use for. So the setbacks are that this camera is, although it's a much improvement of the Action 4, is still not the best in low light situations compared to the Pocket 3, let's say, because the Pocket 3 is amazing. But if some of you are going to be like, well, why didn't you just buy the Pocket 3 then? Because here's the thing, the Pocket 3 wouldn't last 2 minutes with the way that I film my content. I like having an Action camera because these cameras are durable. You can throw them about, you can take them in water, and they don't get damaged. With the Pocket 3, you got to be a little bit more careful with it. So I choose to sacrifice a little bit of the quality, but be more kind of flexible with the way that I film, if that makes sense. I'm not afraid to take this to the beach, go diving with, do all kinds of crazy stuff because I know that this camera can take the beating. And of course, it's a lot cheaper than the Pocket 3. If I broke the Pocket 3 and I wasn't on warranty, then I'd probably cry. But this thing has lasted me for a year now, and it's got a few scratches and marks, but overall, it's still going strong. So the things that I do like about it is, of course, it's being completely waterproof, durable. It does have D-Log M, which I've now actually started to use a lot more of because I find that color grading footage it makes it, what's the right word to say? It makes it a little bit better. I won't say a little bit, it makes it a lot better. The D-Log M feature on this camera is amazing. I don't know why I keep holding this thing. I'm gonna like put it here because I keep playing with it and it's distracting me. Oh, ADHD, eh? But overall, I've honestly enjoyed using this camera this year. But the thing that I'm worried about when getting the Action 6 is when I bought the Action 5 Pro, I already had the Action 4, right? And when I purchased it and I started to kind of like play around and seeing the footage, it wasn't anything like, wow, I am so happy that I've choose to, you know, upgrade my camera. It wasn't nothing like that. I mean, yes, the LCD display is a lot better and you do get internal storage, which I tend to use a lot. But the quality, especially when you're outside filming, I didn't really notice that much difference. And looking at all the reviews on the Action 6 at the moment on the internet, on the good old YouTube, there isn't that much of a difference. And when I'm watching obviously the reviews on YouTube, I'm kind of very skeptical because a lot of those are sponsored and they will tell you, yes, this camera is amazing, it's definitely worth the upgrade, click on the link below and support my channel. But I think I will have to probably purchase it myself in order to kind of find out if it's better than the Action 5. But for now, I think I'm going to stick with my Action 5. Just for a moment, just to kind of like wait a little bit to see if I actually want to upgrade. But the great thing about DJI Action 6 launching is that DJI Action 5 Pro, it will be probably in a few months time, the price will go down. Because we all know when the Action 5 Pro came out, the price of Action 4 was a lot less. So if you have been waiting to buy the Action 5 Pro, give it a few months and then you can grab yourself an Action 5 Pro for probably about, I think they'll probably put it for like 250. Because at the moment it's 300. Wait, one sec. DJI Action 5
Pro.
So at the moment it's £260 in the UK. So I reckon they'll probably drop it down to about 200 quid. And honestly, if when it goes to 200 quid, I wouldn't have no question in doubt people will be buying it. Because for the price of this camera, if it's going to be 200 quid, mate, it's a bargain. But let's talk about more about the Action 5 Pro. Let's talk about the footage, because the footage on the Action 5 Pro is not bad considering the size of the camera. And of course, depending on what you're going to be using it for. Like I said, I have used this camera for my vlogs, to create snowboarding videos, to create marketing videos, to create my business videos. This camera has literally been with me this whole year. And the great thing about it is as well is that I never had any problems with it. Like I never went into kind of like malfunction where it says like, overheating or anything like that. It never let me down. That was like my main thing that I loved about this camera, that I still love about this camera. And yes, the footage is not the best when you film indoors, but I mean, come on, like if you're buying an action camera, you're obviously going to be using it for outdoors, like all the actiony stuff, whether you're going to be surfing, snowboarding, hiking, all that kind of stuff. You don't really buy an action camera for filming indoors. And if you're a bit of an expert when it comes to filming and you're going to be using it with D-Log-M and filming in manual mode with ND filters, then you are going to get probably the best image quality possible from the tiny little camera. I've made few videos on the settings I use, so you can feel free to go on my YouTube channel and just like check them out. But overall, if you're on the market to buy your first action camera, then yes, I would highly recommend the Action 5 Pro. But like I said, give it a minute, wait till the Action 6 has all its hype and thing, wait for the price to go down and then kind of go and make your purchase. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you a lot in the next one. Cheerio. It's a little bit bumpy.